morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Brandon Aries, and welcome to The Sanctuary. This week, I saw The Killer on Netflix with Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender plays an assassin who has a near miss on a target, and things go off the rails. So, he goes out for revenge against those that did him wrong. Straight off the bat, and this is no pun intended, but Michael Fassbender delivers a killer performance in every word that he speaks. Even in his behavior, in his actions, you can tell how he's calm, cool, and collected, like a perfect killer. The inner narrations he was having really reminded me of Dexter. And to be totally honest, I never pegged Michael Fassbender to even fathom to kind of be in this role. But I mean, man, he does it well. I love the opening credit scene. It feels simple, yet complex at the same time. Great shots followed by a simple transition can never do you wrong. This movie is broken up into chapters, but I like when a movie does it well. And this is one of them, because when the chapters come in, it doesn't feel like a pause in the story, like, oh, just so you know, we're on this chapter. No, it flows with the story, almost unfolding as we go. Not gonna lie, I thought something was wrong when I was watching it because there was a lack of score, but then I was like, man, there's a lack of score. This is really good. And when the killer is looking at his targets, it feels like a Nat Geo wildlife documentary. Like the predator is studying its prey, it's hunting. We, as the viewer, are along for the ride. I think the absence of musical score leaves this feeling of suspense, uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen next. Someone could be killed at any moment. Trust no one. One thing that is subtle, but oh so brilliant, is this camera switch. Let me explain. When the killer has things under control and things are anticipating to plan, the shot is static. It is completely still. But when things are out of his control or just unexpected, the camera goes handheld. It just adds so much more to the story if you're into the deeper, like, camera work of the film. When the killer was mentioning this 10,000 hours,
I understood that reference.
the key to achieving true expertise in any skill is practice. About 10,000 hours of it.
Oh.
This guy knows he's an expert in what he does. He's the best in what he does. And he still studies others. He even still studies himself. The cinematography and range of dynamic shots in this film were so crisp. And I mean, using different scopes and lenses, or even using objects to tell the story without any need for dialogue. Using the shots, the environment, even expressions on the actors' faces tell the story perfectly. Watching certain scenes in this film takes me back to films like Leon the Professional. Everything is calculated, meticulous. The killer doesn't make a mistake. It also makes me think of Drive with Ryan Gosling, because the killer doesn't have a name, just like Driver. And then also, there isn't a lot of dialogue, nor very much facial expression. It's very stoic, but it's there. The presence is known. The killer has these morals that are repeated throughout the story, and it helps add character, and it helps develop the killer. You understand his morals. You even start to think back, like, what would the killer do? Thinking about things like empathy and trust. There's one fight scene in this movie that was insane. I was like, man, how are they still going? And like, they're throwing stuff at each other. They're beating each other to crap. They kept going with certain shots and even cut. But even the cuts made it feel like it was still part of one dynamic shot. Brownie point! Tilda Swinton is in this movie. Her scene with the killer was so captivating. I was at the edge of my seat. The tension was so thick you can just grab it. And her monologues felt so natural and truthful, almost convincing you to feel for this villain. The ending, if I could put it to a phrase or an event as to what happened, would be called a slow death. The killer has shown just how capable he really is. And then you get the repetition of those morals. The killer is good, man. The noir aspect, the takebacks of Leon and Drive for me, the suspense throughout the journey, the unfolding of the layers of not just the killer, but the organization that he works for. To me, this film breathes fresh air to not just films today, but also to noir films, because I feel like those type of films haven't really had a lot of spotlight when their ability is to be great. See, Hollywood films like this are what I want a little more of. Don't forget to add fun and comedy and action and sci-fi, whatever, but don't forget to bring it back down to earth. That's all I got to say about The Killer. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you see it? Are you going to see it on Netflix? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. It is always so much appreciated here in the Sanctuary. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And next to that is a notification bell for every week the Summer Boy pops up in your feed. And in case we don't see you, you guys know what happens next. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.